Well, President Biden and Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell made a rare joint appearance earlier today in Covington, Kentucky. As we give you a live look there now, the pair touting construction of a new Ohio River bridge made possible with funding from the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package that was signed back in 2021. And it's just one of the massive projects working to correct years of neglect, leaving thousands of America's bridges structurally deficient. Bridges, a necessary and often beautiful part of America's infrastructure. And with more than 6,000 miles of bridges from California to Maine, they're hard to avoid, big and small, lit up or dark, plain or dazzling. There are more than 600,000 bridges in America, and more than 1/3 of them are in need of repair. According to an American Road and Transportation Builders Association report, nearly 80,000 need replacing, and roughly 45,000 are rated in poor condition, with repairs long overdue.
I mean, a lot of these bridges, were designed for a 50-year lifespan. And so it's really not surprising that bridges would be deteriorating without having the proper amount of inspection and repair programs in place.
And that could be a major problem, with drivers and pedestrians traveling these structures roughly 170 million times a day, crossing highways and streams, rivers, roads, and rails. The disrepair and lack of proper inspections could be an accident waiting to happen, particularly for residents in states with the most bridges in the poorest condition: Missouri, Oklahoma, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and the state with the worst bridges, Iowa. So why these states? Troy Morgan is principal engineer at Exponent. He says aside from neglect, some of it has to do with massive flooding and other environmental conditions.
If a lot of the state has bridges that are subjected to, salt spray or an ocean environment or marine environment, that may accelerate the corrosion of steel elements, or if there's swings in temperature, cold and freeze thaw cycles might cause damage to concrete. So there's lots of reasons why a bridge may need to be repaired, say, earlier than another one.
Over the years, we've seen what can happen when bridges collapse. Last year in Pittsburgh, at least 10 people were injured when a snow-covered bridge collapsed. Rescuers forming a human chain to pull victims to safety from a bus dangling from that bridge. And in Florida, 2018, a pedestrian bridge with known cracks collapsed onto a highway, killing 6 people and crushing cars below. And back in 2007, 13 people were killed in downtown Minneapolis when a bridge collapsed over the Mississippi River. Cars, trucks, and a school bus sent plummeting. 145 people were injured.
Fortunately, bridges collapses are rare, but the way to prevent them in the future is really robust and effective maintenance and inspection programs.
But while desperately needed, maintenance, repair, and bridge replacement projects can cause major disruptions and shutdowns, affecting the country's vastly intertwined transportation system, meaning everything from commuters to supply chains.
I don't think that safety of our bridges is really the thing to be worried about as much as the disruption and shutdown of various routes that can then cause a bunch of maybe economic problems, social problems, lengthening our commutes, disrupting our supply chains, and really making our lives more difficult.
Well, despite the additional resources, if projects continue at their current pace, it would take nearly 30 years to repair all the bridges in need of an overhaul. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.